Back to another video. So if you guys enjoy this video, please consider liking and or subscribing. Now, this video I will be describing my character, who I would say is interesting. I'll be explaining why there are like a plethora of forms of her. That's actually very common. Not a common question, but like that's an easy answer for me. So I'm here to let me stop doing the intro and let me explain. Okay, so my character, or her name is BeetleAsh. She is a she/her. Her pronouns, her sexuality is panromantic. So she's what is it called? She's attracted to people like romantically. So she has no sexual interest, and she finds like romantic interest in people through their personality. So I'm gonna get on to some of her personality traits. So she is an introvert. But she's an introvert, but she's more of an extrovert around her friends. Which her two friends are Lightningfall and Moonash. So Lightningfall, Moonash, and BeetleAsh, they are shapeshifters. So there are certain kind of shapeshifters that can go between different realms and worlds. They mainly stay within the world I created, which I call Hellgone. Which I plan to do a video on Hellgone. If I have time, I will go over Hellgone here. So it's quite funny because they hop between the realms, and they were both born not both, but all three of them were born Hellgone. So again, they are shapeshifters. So by being a shapeshifter, they typically try to stay with their personal colors. They are willing to change colors. For instance, BeetleAsh, she has a more natural color palette, which is her unnatural color palette for her. And that color palette is a dark brown with dark gray and light brown stripes. Still sticking with the red hair. Which I plan to actually mess around with that more later on. Her iris is, I think it's called an iris. So she has the white part, and then the color part of the eyeball, that bit is like a teal color, and then her pupil is like a cyan. So I found that pretty cool. I don't know why I decided to do that. Her typical color palette is like a navy blue, and then a little bit of like a bright purple, and then adds in like little tuftlets, like hair tuftlets, or like accents, or like I think it's accents. I don't really know. It's like a cyan and a mint green, and her hair is typically red. And so yeah, that's a little coloration palette of my character. If she has to wear clothing, it will mainly be gray or black, because those are two colors that she personally really likes. Occasionally she'll go with red to match her hair, but she just likes that. So she is fierce, like she's loyal and very independent. So if anybody tries to boss her around or take away her independence, let's say they won't really last long. So she is, again, like I said, fiercely loyal. She's loyal to her friends and family up until the point they hurt her in any shape or form. The second someone she loves or cares about, like, betrays her, that's the second she betrays them. So it's actually hard to gain her trust and loyalty, but once you gain it, it's extremely easy to lose, because all you have to do is break that trust and loyalty, and then, well, you lost an amazing friend or partner. She is very creative, because it's important to be creative when you're a shapeshifter. So, yeah, most shapeshifters are extremely creative. She is very clumsy. The shapeshifting village, because every shapeshifter, there's a village in the main world, Hellgone, where they have a village. There's about 3 villages of shapeshifters. Each one has a population around 30, 50-ish, so very small. Maybe 100 at maximum. And they tried to send her to do a little mission, and she failed miserably because she just kept on tripping on her tail and wings. So she didn't have a good correlation. Even though she's clumsy, she is super organized. Her little den or house is very organized. If you go in there, you have everything, it's hard to walk around because everything's organized in a little fashion, which is her personal fashion. I plan to draw this, but I'm working on backgrounds, and not the best at them. So there is one thing, here's a major thing I decided to take from me and put in my character, is the fact that I took, so in my case it's easier to write her, from her POV, I decided to write in that she's autistic. So this implies that I am also autistic, which I am. I've been diagnosed for, I think, 3 years, maybe 4 years. Wait. 4 years. It's my 4th year being diagnosed. Now, I'm not going to write it where my character sees this as the same. I personally see autism not as a downgrade or a burden. I see it as a strength because I feel like I see the world different than a lot of people because of how my brain works. So I'm actually quite open about being autistic because I feel like there's a lot of things that people don't understand what people with autism and how people who seem normal like me, half of my friends didn't know I was autistic until I told them. So I seem quite normal on the outside, but on the inside my brain is different. So I find it really unique in how I am like this. So I will gladly talk about it and how I see the world and my habits that I have and what I do. I'll gladly talk about that. Just if you want to hear that, put it down in the comments, or heck, I hate talking for long periods of time because I don't dry. So that's my character, more or less. So I'm going to talk about Hellgone a little bit, because I have some extra time. So Hellgone is a world that I've been working on for longer than I've been diagnosed, so I think it's 4 or 5 years I've been working on this thing, and it's a pain, because I keep on just I figure out new things, oh, I need to do this, and then I've gotten to magic recently, and now I'm oh, I need to establish proper magic formulas and that's that. So I'm working on that now. And I've been playing D&D for a while. So I actually, what actually caused me to start my world was D&D, and it was quite funny because I remember that we were playing D&D, and then I could understand what was going on, but it's hard for me to remember things. So I drew down the scenery and what happens. And then they asked me a basilisk. That's what I was drawing, and I drew it. I never saw this thing, and I drew it exactly, to the legs and the little spikes on it. I did it perfectly, and I was oh my gosh. And they were all shocked, are you sure you didn't read the book? I'm no. I knew what I was thinking, oh yes, basilisk, like the worm-looking thing that's in Ark, because I like playing Ark. So I was like, oh yes, a worm thing, but then I thought, no, that doesn't sound right. How I described it didn't sound right. So then I just took it and made I think it's 8-legged thing, or 6 legs, I don't remember. So that simple event caused me to start drawing and working and making a world. And then recently, I've got an idea of, hey, I want to make a book for my worlds and a game. So I originally started making a game due to my sibling, and then I'm kind of carrying that on and making it like a game for my world. So I wish I knew how to do, like, make an online game. If I could, I would, 100%. A lot of inspirations I have for my writing and for my world is through Warrior Cats and Wings of Fire series. Both of those series have been helped me out a lot. Funny enough, the Five Nights at Freddy's series has helped me a lot too. Which, good game series. I do suggest it. What else? Nothing really. I have a Twitter account, which I'm putting together a Google Doc where I have like all my writings in a PDF where all my writings are in one spot. So I plan to do that. Well, it's about the end of the video, so I bid you guys adieu. Bye.